All right, let's get right into it. Among all the things we value, wisdom holds this really strange place. It's praised by absolutely everyone, it's something we all hope to see in other people, but we almost never claim it for ourselves. Kind of weird, right? So in this explainer, we're going to unpack the architecture of wisdom, using a pretty profound philosophical treatise as our guide.
And that, of course, leads to the million-dollar question. If it's praised by everyone but claimed by no one, then what is it? I mean, in a world that's just overflowing with information and data and facts, figuring out what wisdom actually is has never been more important. Because it's not just about what you know, it's about how you choose to live your life.
So, to really get to the heart of wisdom, we've got to start with what it isn't. And the biggest, most common mistake people make? They confuse it with knowledge. But as we're about to see, they are fundamentally different things.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at this breakdown. Knowledge is all about the what. It piles up facts and it asks, is this information true? It loves to specialize, breaking the world down into smaller and smaller pieces. Wisdom, though, it's about the so what. It's not just accumulating, it's integrating. It asks, what does all this mean? It's about seeing the big picture, the connections. Think of it like this. Knowledge gives you a hammer, but wisdom is the art of knowing when, where, and how to swing it.
And this classic line from Socrates just nails that distinction. The whole paradox here isn't about being ignorant, not at all. It's about having this deep awareness of the limits of what you understand. See, wisdom isn't found in having a head full of facts, it's found in the humility of recognizing just how much you don't know. That recognition, that's the real starting point. So if wisdom isn't just knowledge, then what is it made of? Well, we can think of it like a building, an architecture that rests on three core pillars. It's not some single magical quality, it's a combination of virtues that all work together.
The first pillar has this ancient Greek name, phronesis, but you can just think of it as practical wisdom. Aristotle was a huge fan of this idea, and it's not some abstract ivory tower concept. Phronesis is all about reason connected to action. It's the ability to look at a messy, complicated, real-world problem and figure out the right thing to do to live a good life. It's street smarts for the soul.
So here's how those pillars hold everything up. First, you've got that phronesis we just talked about, practical judgment, the knack for seeing what really matters in a chaotic situation. The second pillar is moral virtue, and this is so important. Things like courage and compassion aren't just nice add-ons. They actually shape what you even notice and care about in the first place. And third, we have cognitive humility, that Socratic idea again, of knowing your own limit.
And this humility isn't some passive, quiet thing. Nope. It shows up in very real, specific ways. A person practicing humility actively listens way more than they speak. They ask curious questions instead of just making declarations. They're actually willing to change their mind if a better argument comes along. And check out these last two. They're slow to judge, and they actively fight that satisfying little feeling of being self-righteous. This isn't just who you are, it's what you do.
All right, so we know what wisdom is built on, but where does it actually come from? How do you get it? Well, the answer, according to our source, is pretty straightforward. It's not a comfortable journey.
Let's just sit with that for a second. Wisdom is rarely the product of ease. It's such a powerful idea, especially today when we're all looking for the easy way out. Raw intelligence might thrive when things are going smoothly, but true wisdom, that often comes from the exact opposite.
And this is exactly what it means for wisdom to be earned. It's forged in the fire of life's biggest challenges: struggle, loss, failure, disappointment. These are the experiences that just strip away our illusions that we're in control, and they force us to face what truly matters. Now, it's not the suffering itself that creates wisdom, but the deep, honest reflection on that suffering.
And of course, time itself is a huge ingredient here. You can kind of see the journey on this timeline. When we're young, everything is about right now. Our immediate desires feel massive, and long-term consequences seem like a problem for a different person. Then, as we move into adulthood, we start to see the patterns, right? We see the consequences of our actions play out. And finally, with age, if we've been paying attention, that constant sense of urgency can fade, and it's replaced by a sense of proportion, a deeper understanding of what actually lasts.
Okay, this brings us to our final and maybe the most crucial section. Wisdom is not some mountaintop you finally reach. It's not a certificate you hang on the wall. It's something else entirely.
If there's one idea you take away from this whole thing, let it be this one, straight from the treatise. Wisdom is not a possession, but a practice. It's something you do. It says, "It is not attained once and for all, but cultivated continually through attention, reflection, and correction." That means it takes constant work. It grows when you listen, when you face your mistakes honestly, and when you stay committed to what's genuinely good.
So what's the whole point of this journey? Well, the goal isn't to get applause or have people call you wise. The real measure of a wise life is its coherence. It's that quiet, inner alignment of what you believe, what you value, and how you act, not just today, but consistently, over the entire arc of your life.
And that brings us right back to the start. Wisdom isn't a destination. It's not about knowing all the right answers. It's a practice, a daily commitment to paying attention, to reflecting, to staying humble. So the only question left that really matters is a personal one. How will you practice yours?